everyone, from this week we are going to move on to the second course theme to understand collaboration and diverse collaboration systems. Today we will talk about the definition, foundations, and perspectives of collaboration happening at schools. These are the chapter objectives. We will define collaboration and describe its critical characteristics. Then we are going to talk about benefits and challenges of collaborations among various individuals at schools. Let's talk about the definition of collaboration. Collaboration in schools is a very important concept and foundation that enables all the other work of educators to be successful. To achieve this goal, each person who works in schools must have the disposition, knowledge, and skills to collaborate. Therefore, collaboration has become an integral part of today's schools. Everyone in schools, including special educator, general educator, paraprofessionals, administrators, and other related service providers, needs the knowledge and skills to work with one another and caregiver. And collaboration can occur both formally and informally. Both types of collaboration are important. However, informal collaboration often occurs whether or not a context for collaboration has been fostered and whether or not any formal structures for collaboration are in place. Formal collaboration typically requires that strong leadership has ensured that a collaborative school culture has been created. Now we're going to watch a short video clip through YouTube. The video summarizes the power of collaboration in school, especially in schools in the Chicago area. While you're watching, think about what were the most important points made through this video clip.
When we work together, we are able to create something great for our students. That collaboration creates an amazing school environment.
One of the biggest challenges of any school is people go into their rooms and they close their doors, and that's the way teaching used to be, right? So you have to begin making it not okay to close your door.
So often we hold all the good things we do to ourselves because it becomes kind of like a competition.
But when you're able to collaborate with your colleagues, it really affects the student's education.
Make sure we're having the exact same homework.
In terms of building a team, you have to think about where are the strengths.
Our principal saw that I have this strength and he has that strength. So when she put us together, it was hard at first.
Okay, there are differences in opinion.
Yeah, big time. The truth is that we didn't really like each other.
Because we were very different people, different styles.
But when we started working together, we were both passionate about working. We were both willing to put the time in.
They started talking to each other. Well, what text are you using? How are you making that connection? How are you going to run your writing conference? It was like the conversation of the month.
We're both understanding that the main goal as a teacher is to get those students to learn.
Okay, got it.
Got it? Teacher collaboration at Wildwood is really intentional. In our schedule, when we have our preps, they're aligned to each other.
I wanted to also talk to you about our current budgeting activity. Do you think they're ready to take a whole 4-day, 3-night vacation and with the $1,000 budget?
We didn't do this last year as far as doing the activity. We did the questions, we did everything like that, but we didn't do the activity.
We didn't prep them as much, right?
Like that whole area in that project
They
was what struggled on.
Remember, because last year we also had a few issues with the itemized lists,
Right.
that they weren't being specific enough with the cost.
And what we can do to help them out with that is like every morning we can have a little mini activity that will have budgeting that they have to do. Then moving on into the big activity, which is this vacation.
Yeah, perfect. I like that because it's just a little bit, we're building every
Right.
day. So that's a good idea. That relationship, when you can bounce ideas off of each other, it's to the benefit of the students.
All that you can about these words.
We should be helping each other out and stop holding in all the things that we do great and sharing it with others so that they can make those same gains within their classroom. And that's really what's important about it, is that the collaboration creates that equality for all students.
In the field of special education, collaboration is a really important part of all the processes, and it happens all the time for children, from a child's initial referral and assessment to IEP meeting and service delivery. We use the term collaboration a lot in our casual conversation, but we have to remember that collaboration has a clear technical definition, and collaboration is not a synonym for other terms such as teaming, consultation, inclusion, or co-teaching. The term collaboration can be defined as a style for direct interaction between at least two co-equal parties voluntarily engaged in shared decision-making as they work toward a common goal. Because the authors define that collaboration is a style for interaction, it does exist in isolation. It can occur only when it is used by people who are engaged in a specific process, task, or activity. I think that the definition is very important and very clear because the definition itself defines the characteristics of collaboration. So collaboration is voluntary. We, teacher, cannot force other people to use a particular style in their interactions, right? And collaboration is based on mutual goals, which means individuals who collaborate at schools share several common goals for a child or a group of children, and they work together toward the common goals. Collaboration depends on shared responsibility for participation, so they can complete tasks associated with the collaborative activity, and they also share the responsibility for decision making involved in that activity. And they also share resources and accountability for outcome. So all the participating individuals are accountable for the outcome they receive. Collaboration has been an important concept in the field of education as well as in other disciplines and even in larger society. But in schools, in order to provide high quality interventions and instructions for all children, children with and children without disabilities, 21st century schools have provided several multi-tiered or school-wide systems such as MTSS, PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Support, and RTI, Response to Intervention. To successfully implement the tiered instructions or interventions for different children in different tiers, collaboration among school personnel has been emphasized. Especially to increase accessibility of children with disability to the age-appropriate learning contents and inclusive learning, special educator and general educator and other school personnel have worked closely. In the field of special education, several collaborative activities can happen formally under IDEA, Individuals with Disability Education Act. The most common example of this collaboration is IEP team. Each student's educational program or educational goal must be designed by an IEP team. And the IEP team members typically include several school personnel such as special educator, general educator, therapists, and administrators, and the child's caregivers as well. If the student has behavioral issue, severe behavioral issue, the team also discusses and develops the Behavioral Support Plan BIP through completing FBA, Functional Behavior Assessment, and developing Behavior Intervention Plan BIP. In special education, collaboration with paraprofessionals is very important. To work with them efficiently, interactions between teachers and paraprofessionals to share the class expectations or other important things should regularly happen. Although we see the importance and benefits of collaboration in education, there are several challenges to establish collaborative relationships among stakeholders. First one is school culture. Each school may have different culture, structures, and expectations for collaboration, and individuals who work at the school may also bring various culture, understanding, and expectations for collaboration. Especially collaboration is voluntary, so one individual cannot force the other people to use one efficient way for collaboration. Power in a relationship can be challenged too. People interact with different powers. There are different types of powers. The first one is expert power. That is, the person is viewed by others as knowing more than they do on specific thing. Second example is reference power. That is the likelihood that others will follow the person's suggestion because they admire the person and value the person's input. Third type is reward power. That is the perception that the other person controls the valuable resources. So the interactions between people who bring these different types of power or levels of power to their interaction may be often unbalanced. So this power in relationship can be the challenges too. To learn to form effective partnerships with others, we may need to have a clear understanding of collaboration and what are the important critical components of collaboration. Your textbook introduces a framework for learning about collaboration and critical elements of collaboration. The elements include personal commitment to collaboration, communication skills, the basic building blocks of collaborative interactions, interaction processes, that are the steps that takes an interaction from beginning to end, program or services in which collaborative activities occur, context or environment in which collaboration occurs.